See ya!
I'm George King. 2 years ago, I free-soloed the Shard and was handed a 6-month prison sentence. I've spent my life preparing my body and my mind for the extreme challenges I undertake, but I'm always left questioning as to why I do it. I want to spend time with other extreme athletes, discovering how they train and what motivates them, what goes on inside their mind and what makes them tick. These activities are all extremely dangerous and can only be carried out by highly trained experts. Do not attempt to recreate them. This is Tim Howell. He's a wingsuit and base jumping master. He's jumped off buildings, antennae, spans and earth that qualify him to join the exclusive base jumping community. And he's the only person to have flown a wingsuit in the UK. These extreme sports are among the most deadly, with a risk of death of 1 in every 2,300 jumps.
That's beautiful. So today, we're up bright and early, everyone else is asleep, but we're going to watch one of Britain's greatest base jumpers base jump. It'll be interesting to get an understanding of what mental process one has to undertake before taking the leap of faith. Tim, how we doing?
Yeah, nice to meet you, man.
Bright and early. So what's the significance of getting up at this time then?
For me, it always gives me like the biggest weather window.
Okay.
Like you could get up and it says on the forecast like the wind's good at 8 and you're there at 8 but you could miss it, you know.
Everyone's asleep, you go get it done, go back into your bed, no one knows.
None the wiser.
I'm looking around right now and I'm thinking, where the f are you jumping from, mate?
Yeah, it's a nice little surprise around the corner.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Crack on. How relaxed are you feeling now?
I mean, this jump's pretty game on.
How many base jumps have you done?
It's like 760 now.
That is amazing.
At my first skydive, I was really nervous. But as I gained experience, when I did my first base jump, I was pretty relaxed. Like,
you're confident in your own ability.
Exactly. When you're almost trembling at the exit, that's not a good frame of mind to be in. That is
well, you
I've made for it, mate.
Beautiful.
But that's not the one today.
Yeah, okay.
So.
The issue with you is that things are always popping up. There's always dreams.
Oh, mate,
there's always...
the list goes on.
Yeah.
It's like Mexico the last month.
Yes.
And I had a list of things I wanted to jump.
Yes.
But when you get there, the list just grows. You know, you tick one off and you add 5 to it.
Really
so I think we can see the exit here, mate.
That one.
We're looking at it over there.
That distance of the drop is
it's
not much at all.
No.
Your reaction speed. I mean, it's something like this.
But then you can see how steep it is afterwards.
Yeah, so you can fly away.
Like if it was that to flat,
yeah,
you'd be like open landing.
Well,
but now I can like.
So every second counts on this.
Yeah, I mean, quick reactions for sure.
Yeah. Looking at that, how does it make you feel?
Get it done.
That's it. That's it. Good man.
Worries me, people near the edge, bro.
What are the risks with base jumping?
Ultimately, being a splat on the ground is probably the biggest risk. The first incident I ever had was in Beachy Head, and I made a huge mistake and I did something that was well above my ability. I hit the wall and I hit it again. I landed in a pile at the bottom of the cliff. There's only a scratch. Yeah, like I walked away, like maybe a little bit of bruising, but...
For you, was that a turning point where
massively.
you were like, okay, this is what's happened, my ego got the better of me,
100%.
There's cameras there, we're trying to one-up each other.
Yeah, like it's all well and good someone saying, don't do what I did, and you go, yeah. Sometimes you just have to learn for yourself.
Tim, did you pack your own rig?
My friend's been borrowing my parachute for the last month, so I'm trusting him now.
Wow.
Yeah.
You trust him with your life to be putting that on.
Potentially. As long as you don't make some major mistakes, it's going to open and it's going to be all right. The most important part for me, I always say it and I always tell my students to say it, is bridle clear, so this bit being the bridle. If that was accidentally put through there or connected to this carabiner, it's not pulling out your parachute and that's it. Because your parachute would have to come through your leg strap or whatever. So I can feel the pin and I can follow it from the pin all the way. And I just say bridle clear, bridle clear. I hope it opens.
Have an amazing jump, mate.
See you down there, man. Okay, guys. 3, 2, 1, see ya!
He's landed. So intense, but almost quite majestic.
Yeah, pretty spicy.
That was incredible. I think that's planting a seed. I'm definitely gonna have to make sure that I do this at some point. That was amazing to watch, mate.
Well, do you think it was different to what you were expecting? Or?
You know what? It was no hesitation. So relaxed. You know
I mean,
exactly.
it helps if you've done it before.
Yeah. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a full-on jump. So you're open and the ground's straight there, like straight away. And you got those ridges. So I played around with the ridge a little bit. And there's not that much altitude in between opening and landing.
You know, you've got hazards there.
Yeah.
You know, the road's a hazard. You know, there's clearly, these are all things you premeditate.
Yeah, exactly.
You know about these risks.
But I mean, in terms of landing, can't get much better than this. You know, I feel pretty privileged.
I know your wife jumps as well. Would you say that you two jumping together builds this connection?
100%, man.
That
Yeah.
bond must be so strong.
We have a strong relationship.
For sure. Well, I can imagine mundane arguments will seem meaningless compared to what you two have experienced together.
I mean, you say that, but then our arguments consist of what brand parachutes we're flying and stuff like that.
So, Tim, you live an extraordinary life, my friend. You're the first person to do a wingsuit jump in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, it's always cool to do the first in your own country. So I spent the whole summer in Switzerland training because it was a very technical jump.
So what's going through your mind at the moment of the exit point?
I did have to do a lot of breathing. I did have to do a lot of calming myself down.
Just getting the heartbeat down, right?
I was standing there, geared up, and the clouds were coming in and out. So actually it was pretty tense because it didn't give me a chance to just stand there and go when I was ready. And even my friend that was there with me, well, one of them said, I didn't actually want you to do it. And I'd never heard that from him before. But for me, that's probably my biggest accomplishment.
Yeah. Was there any fear at that point?
I mean, I knew I could do it, all the numbers made sense, but then you're trusting numbers and calculations rather than a feeling.
Replacing logic with fear is sometimes the best way, because that way, you know, you're not emotionally driven, you're basing it on
actual science.
Exactly. Obviously doing what you do, there's a lot of danger. A lot of people die doing it, but you've done it hundreds of times but haven't even had a serious injury.
I can't think of an example where you can't put it down to human error, you know, because at the end of the day it's a decision whether you're going to jump or not. So unless it's some absolutely crazy freak accident where a bird hits you in flight, then it's your error, it's your decision-making process.
So this morning I had the pleasure to watch you base jump. How do you deal with normal day-to-day mundane life? Is your mind constantly spinning trying to think of the next project?
If I'm not on the mountain or I'm not jumping or I'm not climbing, I'm planning on doing it, you know. So it's always on the mind.
Constantly on the mind.
Exactly.
That's beautiful.
Especially time in the mountains when you're slogging away for 8 hours with axes and crampons on. You're not worrying about the mortgage on your house or some bill that's come through or something. You are literally just in the moment, and that's such a cliched thing to say, but it is so true. It's definitely some sort of therapy for sure.